No one ever said the house was haunted. There were no rumors of murders, no whispers of curses, no tragic backstory passed down through generations. In fact, the house looked perfect. And yet, every family that moved in left within 3 weeks. Not because of fear, but because the house made a decision. And once it did, you were no longer welcome. When Daniel and his wife, Mara, first saw the listing, they assumed it was a mistake. A 4-bedroom house on a quiet suburban street, recently renovated and priced far, far below market value. When they asked the realtor why, she hesitated. Previous owners, she said carefully, had compatibility issues. That was the phrase she used. Not complaints, not incidents, compatibility. Daniel laughed it off. Mara didn't. Still, they needed the space. Their newborn son needed a room, and the house felt warm the moment they stepped inside. Not just cozy, but genuinely welcoming. The papers were signed within a week. The first night passed quietly. The second night, Daniel woke to the sound of footsteps upstairs. He froze, then remembered the baby monitor on his nightstand. He picked it up. Static, low and rhythmic, almost like breathing. By morning, they found the nursery door closed. They were certain they'd left it open. On the 4th day, the cabinet doors in the kitchen were rearranged. On the 6th, the pictures they hung were tilted, never fallen, never broken. Just corrected. Mara joked that the house was just fixing their mistakes. But Daniel noticed something else. The house never changed anything while they were awake, only while they slept. It was watching, waiting. One night, about a week in, the baby wouldn't stop crying. It wasn't hunger. It wasn't pain. It was pure, unadulterated fear. Daniel picked him up and carried him down the hallway as the lights began to flicker. Then something felt wrong. The hallway wasn't getting shorter, but every step felt like it covered more ground than it should have. The nursery door appeared sooner than expected. The moment he reached it, the baby stopped crying. The door then closed on its own, softly, deliberately. The next morning, words appeared on the living room wall. They weren't scratched or painted. They were written in condensation, as if someone had just breathed on a cold window. 4 words, clear as day. This is not your space. By the time they reached for their phones to take a picture, the message was gone, evaporated. That was it. They decided to leave that night. But the front door wouldn't open. It wasn't locked. The handle turned, but the door itself simply refused to budge. The windows were sealed tight. The garage door stalled halfway down, trapping their car. With every attempt to escape, the house grew colder. Then the sounds began, furniture shifting in other rooms, walls creaking and groaning, the floors adjusting beneath their feet. The house wasn't attacking them. It was rearranging itself. Hallways no longer led where they should. Doors opened into solid walls. Paths formed that led them in circles, back to the living room. It was like being trapped inside a giant, unsolvable puzzle box. Then, as dawn approached, a final message appeared, lightly carved into the wood of the main staircase. You were temporary. Immediately after they read it, the front door swung wide open. They left with nothing but their child and the clothes they were wearing, never looking back. By the next morning, the house was listed for sale again. New photos, even lower price. The realtor would later swear the listing description changed on its own. One extra line had appeared at the bottom, ideal for occupants who understand boundaries. And somewhere inside that house, the rooms are still waiting, just not for humans. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more strange tales.